Hope everybody's doing good this Saturday morning or afternoon, depending on where you are. Hope everybody's doing fine, feeling fresh, feeling fine, maybe. However you want to pull it. It's a beautiful day outside, people. I want to get out the house and enjoy the sun. Anyone out there got anything to talk about? This town hall, y'all. We got the town hall going. If you got anything you want to talk about, put it in the comments or request to come up. I'm just going to give people an opportunity, you know. Town hall is open, people. The town hall is open. It's all about teaching, learning, and sharing. Teaching, learning, and sharing. Teaching, learning, and sharing. And building and staying together, united, we stand. Divided, we fall. You don't stand for nothing, you fall for everything. I'm gonna give some people some time. Maybe some people want to step up. If not, I'll probably just go join someone's live. But I want to give everyone an opportunity to be able. But I found Alright, my phone's dying. Alright, my phone's dying. I'm about to go inside, charge it up, but I'm gonna keep it up.
Hi,
Hello.
that's a fun background. How do you do that?
I don't know. I think this is just one of the backgrounds that comes pre-baked with TikTok. So
Yeah, you sent me that, and I had to give TikTok um, permission to use my microphone because I had it shut off. Because they listen to everything.
of course they do.
Yeah,
How
you
are
know,
you doing? Divine timing.
I'm doing all right, Mr. Difficult.
Love, love.
What's going on in here? Who's in here? It's so funny. Okay, this needs to not be weird, but it's like you knew I was thinking about you because I was about to send you a message, and then you sent me the invite, and I was like, "What?
What? Have we had a one-on-one?
Do what?"
Have we had a one-on-one?
Like outside of this, yeah,
Ah.
but not on TikTok. I don't think I've ever gone live on TikTok. This is interesting.
So what was your affliction? You have to refresh my memory. Talked to about 32 people within this month span. So I do apologize.
It'll be for the 400th time you're gonna ask me when is my court date. It's on the 31st.
Oh, is that you?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't recognize your voice, love.
No, you're all right. I'm like, I don't think he recognizes my TikTok name with my who I am. That's kind of funny to me. It's all right. I'm just glad you saw that. I don't. Well, I mean, I don't know if you saw it, but to re-invite me. There's
Right.
a few
So
people.
so how did your abatement come along?
I think it's coming along pretty good. I figure I might finish it all up and then send it with the letter of keep
Instruction.
forgetting what letter of instruction. I keep thinking letter of intent. Letter of instruction to my attorney, and then from there, actually, prior to the plea and abatement, I'm going to send him that misnomer one. I'm going to send him that and
Right.
just put him on notice of things and see if he just declines me from there because he's going to go, no, this isn't true. And I'm going to tell him straight up, like the style manual states it. It is truth, whether you believe it or not or want to admit to it. You know?
Well, like it's like I don't care what you believe. I don't care what you believe. I need you to follow my orders.
Yeah, I know he's not going to because, like I told you, the last time I tried to send him a bill of particulars, he was like, "You sound like a sovereign citizen." So he's
Right.
probably
And what did we say?
yeah. Well,
Sorry, go ahead.
the first thing I say when they call you a sovereign citizen is you can't be sovereign and a citizen at the same time. It's Oxymoron.
Well, they know that. They know that, but that's their way of discrediting what you're trying to do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And bringing more credit to what they're trying to do as bar card holding attorneys, right?
Mhm. And I'm with you. I need to go in there before I send it out to him, and add in there that should he call me a sovereign citizen, it's immediate grounds for dismissal
Exactly.
and, and for him to recuse himself.
Correct. I won't stand for derogatory statements made against me.
Yeah. I don't know. After having that Zoom with like, I don't know, the 4 to 6 of us, because there were people coming and going yesterday, really gave me some extra confidence. Um,
Right.
and I actually exchanged numbers with the one lady. Um, she hasn't texted me yet though, so hopefully she does get in contact with me and we can try and work on her child custody case. Because man, is that something else? I don't stand for that.
Yep. I agree.
It
And
doesn't matter.
go ahead. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say it doesn't matter whether you're the mother or the father. I don't necessarily think that a kid just belongs with their mother, but because there's bad mothers out there. Another guy in the group even said that said he's got all sorts of videos of his kid's mother threatening him and stuff like that. And it's like, it's about putting the kid with the parent that's gonna take care of him properly.
Yeah,
So
exactly. And it's like, here's the thing: if both parents are responsible, are there for the child, love the child, want nothing but the best for the child, they should both have an opportunity to spend and do what they need for that child. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But you know,
I don't know.
work it
Oh,
out. They're gonna have to work it out for the child.
yeah, I told her though I come across that the child custody stuff all the time. It's just not, I don't usually pay too much attention to it because it's not an issue that I have any longer because I had to fight that out before I knew about this stuff. I had spent 5 years in and out of custody court with my ex-husband. So like I feel her pain, especially for someone who
Right.
has never spent any time alone with the child to give him 75% custody after finding that she is not an alcoholic or a drug addict or anything of the sort, and she has the means to take care of her kid and still give him 75% custody. I'm like, that in itself needs to be addressed, whether which direction you fight this, because that's just not right.
Exactly.
But I'm with her. I had an ex-husband who was paying people off to take care of things, so I can see where she's coming from on that. Um,
Yeah.
that kills me.
And the father in her situation was came. He comes from a means of like he has the means to do it, right? And she
Yeah.
doesn't. So like, I mean, those are like unfair circumstances, and if he can just pay it off, that doesn't sound right. If it's
That's
mother or father doing it.
yeah, that's exactly what my ex-husband did to me. And I was lucky enough that, I had a father who he did everything. He took his entire retirement pension to help me fight that in court because he was be damned if my kids were taken and given to him because he knows what kind of man he is, and he didn't agree. So those are
Right.
hard situations.
See, like that.
Like you said, you want to have two parents who actually give a crap and just have split custody.
Right.
Mm.
The child can have both sides of the nurturing process, from both parents, masculine and feminine. But like I say to everybody, once you kind of realize what's going on when you walk into the family court, right?
Hmm.
It's like you can approach it better instead of going there and say, "Well, I didn't do this, and I'm a great parent." And like question you can ask him is, "What gives you the right to dictate
Yeah,
what I do with my children?
exactly.
What gives you the right? Where does your authority, like, judge? I don't understand. I don't understand how I can be raising these kids and then you can just come in and tell me what I need to do with my children.
Well, it just goes to show me because she said she has her kids in a trust as well
Me,
as
that's
I do. What was that?
go ahead.
Oh, I thought you said something. I said it just goes to show me that she said she has her kids in a trust, as I do also. But I mean, I didn't when I was going through it, but the fact that she does now, and it just goes to show that having those documents and having it in that manner isn't enough. It's we have to speak up. But like there is no choice, but you have to be bold and you have to stand up for yourself and ask the questions and you know be like I said, be bold and stand on your square, as they say, and just, be adamant about it because there's no other way to go because they will, make their presumptions if you don't say something and speak up for yourself. So it sucks as much as people say, oh, you could handle this all completely out of court, but sometimes you just can't. You've got to get in there and you've got to say what you got to say.
True. But the thing is, like, I'll say this though: if you're set up correctly, and I don't know how much protection just having a trust will do, right? But if you're set up correctly
Yeah.
with all,
Yeah. He paused. Are you watching this? I know you're listening to
with
us.
that,
You went somewhere.
my phone just hit me with the oh, your phone's about to die. So I guess like it paused me for that time. Um,
No.
I was just saying that, like, look, you know, we have these trusts, right? But if you got to form a trust, you got to be able to put a name on the trust, right?
Yeah.
In their world, that name starts with that estate because the name is the name of the estate.
hmm Something
Now
I'm
listen,
still learning about. Still, you know.
right, right. Just in stuff like that, right? We're finding out that you have trust. Uh, uh,
You're
uh,
breaking up.
uh, you know, yeah, so sorry. All I'm just saying is like you got to stand with the foundation. So let's say the trust is the front row of pawns, if you will, but that back row is the foundation because you can't get that trust. Say you go to get the EIN for the trust, it's going to ask you for a name, and the name is property of the estate. So I think if the estate's not set up, the trust probably holds no water.
I can see that. I mean, but that's why you've got to get an EIN for both and set it all up. And like I said, it's a process, and I'm still learning and still working on it.
Yep. It's a journey. I
So,
don't like the word process. It's a journey
yeah.
because you're going to make mistakes and you're going to correct them and you're going to learn from them. And then you're going to use that knowledge and experience in order to embark on your next endeavor, right?
hmm
And then you'll have that experience in order to share it with others.
Yep. Definitely have to. We've been running around the monopoly board our whole life, and they've been collecting on us off of everything, and now it's time for us to start buying, building, and creating our own estates, and doing our own thing.
Managing our estate, right? Because you can do it while you're living. Everybody
Yeah.
thinks of their estate after they pass, and it's just the material possessions that you have, right? Your record player and your car, your house, just the material possessions. But your estate extends well beyond that. your estate extends on paper, right? Your estate is your rights to your children. That's your property, right? Your children are not your property, but your rights to be their guardian is your property.
Yeah. I'm still on another level here because right before I joined this with you, I was reading, I think it's B who was posting in the Telegram
Mhm.
about the bill of particulars, and I'm wondering if that's something I can still do or not, or if that,
Well, I think that since you're past
or
the
not.
sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say not a bill of particulars. Sorry, um,
The motion for discovery.
no, because I'm past that too. No, not the plea abatement that I'm working on. Thank you for that, though. No, like a bill of pains and penalties, if you will, like hitting them with, this is all the things that you put me out. Like I lost my job, and you know, um,
That's a good point because I always think of the bill of attainder and the pains and penalties to be something that they do to you, but could you do it to them?
I don't think there's anything we can't do in a sense. I mean, it's just a matter of whether it makes a difference or not. But like he said, and Kyle says to me all the time, they're a bank. You have to think of them as a bank, and you have to think in equity, and like let's start pulling out, you know,
Call them out on the tax.
I
Like,
did call him on the tax fraud. I actually added that into, is there any bonds or securities against my name? And if there is, can you show proof of the,
1040.
no, 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 before I got to that, the original charging instrument and the,
Criminal complaint.
no, the trail of
Oh,
paperwork.
the certified audit trail.
Yeah, the certified audit trail, with the 1099, the OID, the 1040, the 1040V, and any and all other documents. I put that in the abatement because I told him, I said, I want to call him out on that because I know it's, calling that equity out, if you will, is applying to the bank side of them, and I think it's a hard hit at them. And I
sure.
wanted to put it in there.
So, like, I agree with all of that, but like the approach is that it comes from the mindset, right? Like you're not thinking about like it's a hit at them. You're thinking about like it's a defect that you're finding within the proceedings. Because to me, the abatement halts the proceedings, and we're going through the checklist of, did you follow procedure? Did you
Yeah.
follow process? Right.
Yeah, you're right. Calling out the defects. I'm sorry, my words are not always.
You
Well, we
know,
always go to that. The mindset that we really have is they're attacking us, and we want to attack them back.
Not
You
necessarily
know?
attacking them. I want to be as cordial as possible and stay in honor, if you will, and do things the correct way, but also at the same time say, hey, you're saying X, Y, and Z, and my counter reaction to that is my A, B, and C, and it's
Right.
and
Because at the end of the day, we are at war. But if you come to them non-combative and peaceful in nature, right?
Mhm.
You're letting them know that I'm a peaceful American. I'm not trying to, but however, I'm noticing some defects in this paperwork, and I have some concerns I'd like to bring up for the record.
Oh,
That's what the
I sent you a revised copy, and I didn't know if you had gotten a chance because I know you were working on doing some stuff for um,
you
like.
know, you know, Devon, I love you to death, but it's 12 pages.
Oh,
That's the only beef I have with it.
no, 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 it's not that. I know. I'm trying to figure out
told
how
her
to
that.
how to get it down a little further. It's just I added in the
Well,
two
like,
paragraphs, and one paragraph is on the first or second page, and it was about the accepted for value. I just didn't. I
so
don't
you know
feel
how the
like.
lawyer, right? So
Say what?
you know how the lawyer keeps dragging the court case along and charges you for it, right?
Yeah.
You can do the same thing to them, as long as you put them on notice, right? So now you might want to set up some things in order to do it properly in commerce, right? But if you can come to an agreement with with them on the record, get the transcripts, you have the proof that you put them on notice, right? And the abatement process is a good way to string out your case against them, and you're just going to be billing them along the way. Now listen, so that's why you want to just do it in stages with this abatement process. You start with the misnomer, and somehow they get through that. Then you go to the venue. Somehow they get through that. You know. Then you go to start filing actual motions, or I think those all go together. So you have the notice that you can send to them, and then you attach the document or the template for the actual demand for abatement. So you got two ways of abating it there, right? So if they force you to take a plea and you move forward with that non-guilty plea because they're kangarooing you through the court, then you hit them with the bill of particulars. Now the bill of particulars is not attacking process, I mean procedure. It's attacking due process. Where's the victim, right? Is there a contract? Um, are you administering my estate without my express written consent? Those kind of things.
Or go at it by saying that the clerk of the court has administered your estate, thereby appointing the judge as trustee. And since neither one of you can be the beneficiary, that leaves me the beneficiary.
Exactly. Because no one in that court can stand up and say they have any kind of beneficial interest in your estate. They don't.
Yeah.
But if you're not set up, neither do you. You haven't accepted it. You haven't gone back and claimed it. So it's forfeited. So they're using it as forfeited abandoned property.
Yeah.
So that's why I keep going back to that. Like we always keep sticking to, what to do in court, right? But what's getting you into court? It's the foundation.
Yeah, the paperwork is the foundation, but that's the problem is to this point, I've told you, I've been nervous and apprehensive about, trying to file anything and doing anything because I'm just always
so
afraid I'm not
excited
doing the paperwork right.
That's why I'm excited for you to get in there and get out, okay? Just get in there and get out, because then once you get in there and get out and you start doing things yourself, you don't got that lawyer slash attorney making decisions, speaking for you and signing for you. You'll start to see how they start dancing around you, and then they start yelling at you, or they start ridiculing you and calling you a sovereign citizen, right? They immediately try to discredit what you're doing and bring back credit to what they're doing. But we are the people who we know that they're fake. Everything's in all caps.
Oh, that document that you sent me, and thank God because I was looking forever for it, that 62 ways of things to say in court or whatever.
Correct.
Oh my goodness, that made me feel so much more confident about how to reply once they start trying to pull the contempt of court thing. Now I feel more confident in that because that was one thing I was afraid of. If I get locked in a corner where he tries to start holding me in contempt, what do I say or what do I do to stand on my rights? Because I know it's wrong for him to do so. And how to push his buttons back and back him down. And oh my gosh, did that have some great answers about not just first off, as soon as they say it, will it be civil or criminal contempt, and then, go at it. If it's criminal, okay, where's the injured party or, who have I hurt, whatever. And if you want to say it's a civil contempt, okay, did we have a contract I didn't know about because I don't consent to it? And I mean, it's a good way to shut the judge down and shut him up and back him off,
You better come on with it. Devon, you better come on with it.
I'm so prepared now. Like I am so glad I met you because the amount of information, not just from you, but just from the Telegram group, man, I have gotten myself to a point where I feel so much more prepared. Like it's not stuff I didn't already know, but it just helped put things into perspective again, if you will, to give me the confidence I need to move forward.
Right. It's all about dispelling the fear because you are under a spell when you go in there, whether you know it or not.
Hmm.
You're under a spell. So you have to dispel the fear. And you're only going to, the fear will only be dispelled once you go in there, you stay on your square, right? You don't cause any controversy
Hmm.
and you get the fuck out of there. And you be like, wow, I got the fuck out of there. In
Hmm.
there, out of there by myself.
I'm just I just have this fear I've got to get past, is that I'm afraid that because originally, before I decided I wanted to argue this, I took that plea, and it's like I'm going in there and I'm not coming home. And I just keep hoping that this is all going to go down okay, that I can go home, when I'm done.
Exactly. You get in there, you get out of there safely.
Yep.
That's what I'll stand on that one in order to provide counsel, I would call it, because we all have the right to counsel, right? Not lawyers, not legal advice, but we have the right to counsel. So in order to get around these restrictions, you just call it what it is, written by the people. You know what I mean? We
Hmm.
have the right to counsel. So you can go in there when say you got a power of attorney. I'm here as a living woman as counsel to the defendant. If you need to see my power of attorney, it's filed with the county, recorded with the county, not filed on the court case,
Hmm.
but it's filed with the county, so it's public knowledge.
Hmm.
Not only that, if you put it in the newspaper, now they've been on proper notice,
Hmm.
and then you have a fee schedule out there too. So then you have the grounds to be like, well, if you, I'm going to come in with good faith because I have some concerns about the procedure. Okay,
Hmm.
I think there are defects on the record, so I'd like these matters addressed before we can proceed. If
Hmm.
you want to proceed, despite being presented with the defects, I'm gonna have to charge you for my time.
Hmm.
And that's when you hit them with the fee schedule.
That's what I was talking about, not the bill of attainder, pains and penalties and all that. The fee schedule. Sending one of those in after I send the abatement in, and it's not replied to in the 10 days. I'll send in the notice of default, and then after that, hit them with a fee schedule on
Correct.
top of it.
Now, because here's the thing: if you're going to be pulled in there under duress, threat, and coercion,
Hmm.
now they are forcing you to spend your time with them. So you might as well legally and lawfully charge them for your time because it's at the end of the day it's nothing but business. And if you have the correct paper trail and you've built your case against them, now you have grounds for damages. You got grounds for a claim against them. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Because you put them on notice. Because guess what? They always put you on notice.
Hmm.
Always. They always put you on notice. Now, just having the statutes out there for everybody to see is proper notice. So what I want to do is take my fee schedule and turn it into a list of statutes by my own decree. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
And each statute has a criminal penal sum attached to it. The same way they do it,
Hmm.
because they're doing business as the state of wherever state you live in,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
And to me, though, that list of statutes ain't nothing but they fee schedule.
Yep. And I actually have a template for that, but then you'll have to find your own state's particular um, statutes and whatever that they have
You got
for
a
them.
template for a fee schedule that looks like statutes?
I actually do somewhere, so you'll have to give me some time because I gotta find it. But I will email it to you as soon as I find it. I I believe I have it saved, but I know that I found it a long time ago. You paused. I don't know if you can still hear us.
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Okay,
My
I didn't
phone.
know if
Hold
you.
on. I'm still here, but hold on. Let me just finish my cigar and then I'm gonna go in.
No, you're good. I just went pause. I was like, I don't know if you can still hear me. But yes, I have one somewhere. We found it, I don't know, I want to say like 4 or 5 months ago, though. But I do believe that one of us has it saved on our computer. So I will get it emailed to you as soon as I can find it. But it does, the fee schedule that I found was very, very meticulous in everything that I found within it. And it
Right?
called out everything with a whole bunch of statutes in it, different. Um, what was that we came up with yesterday? The FRCP,
Federal rules
federal
of
rules
civil
of criminal
procedure.
procedure. Yeah, it had
It's
statutes
actually
from the.
it's actually civil procedure because if you think about it, even what they call a crime, and I'm thinking about that they have just conjured up this word crime and redefined it in their own terms, right?
Yeah, they don't know what the word crime even means. What constitutes a crime? Please explain that to me.
Well, like the
And
state of Georgia where I live, they define a crime as any violation of a statute.
yes, pretty much. I think that's just about anywhere. You violate one of their statutes, okay, but that's not what crime is defined in Black's Law or, wherever else you may find it.
It's not. Well, it's it can be though. So like all
Yeah.
the new editions of the black law will have updated versions of what people define crime as.
Mhm.
So, you got to go back to like a Bouvier's or something to actually see what it's actually defined as.
Well,
But
that's their
when you
colorable
go, correct,
contract.
correct, correct. And it's all defined by statute. It's all defined by, I would say, tacit agreement, if you will. It's
Yep.
not even tacit because it's all written in the forms that you sign. It's all written in the forms that you sign. When I
It's
asked
just,
the judge, when I asked the prosecutor, is the crime in the nature of a injured party or a breach of contract? She had to stop right there, sir. Okay, just go over to back into the audience, and the judge will call you when she's ready. I said, okay. You didn't answer the question, and you didn't answer the question. And then she stood up in front of the judge and said she answered the question.
yeah, I
So boom,
know.
so boom. What did I do? I hit her with an affidavit to attest, not swear, because people don't swear. If you swear, you're swearing against the Most High, but you can attest to an effect on the man and woman level, right?
Hmm.
It's to attest to the fact that the lawyer did not answer my question, but she stated on record that she did. I haven't heard from him since. So now I just got to close out the account, and I'm going to do that by way of the bonds in the private.
Yeah, I got to get a hold of that book that you're talking about. The My Word is My Bond. I'm gonna have to get a hold of that like ASAP because I'm really curious to read that myself now.
Yeah. And I when I find books, I buy them because I mean, books are something that you can sit down and read and use as reference when you need them.
Well, that's why most of those documents I've pulled off of different websites that I've found where people have, placed documents. I've turned them into books like I have because it's just the easiest way to do it.
Exactly. I really admire that because I'm going to start doing the same.
I got
Because
it.
if you have it in your hand, you're more apt and inclined to read it. If you
Yeah.
got enough lighting,
Oh, I
if you
will.
got like a cup of coffee sitting next to you, you can sit down and read like 2 chapters.
I will read these 60 to 100-page documents in like 3 hours. And I've learned too, because I don't want to necessarily write directly on any of them. The only one I wrote directly on was the court survival guide, because I thought I can go back and find that's everywhere and print a new copy. But because I wanted notes on that particular survival guide for myself to, prepare for court. But everything else, all I've done is I've gotten like these clear sticky notes so that
Hmm.
I can just stick them on the page and I write my little notes about each thing. And I've got like little arrow tab sticky notes and stuff. And I write my little notes on it. So that way the book that I printed up itself doesn't get written all over. But Man, I can't tell
Yes,
you how many hundreds of documents I've read at this point.
yes. I like that drive. I like that drive, and not using that in a commercial term either.
Yeah, right. No, I
You
feel
know
you.
what I'm saying? It's
I feel you.
that ambition to learn, that ambition to share. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about.
Yeah, like I said yesterday, it's you gotta have a
I pushed you in the right direction.
tribe, and you gotta have people. And I'm like really glad that, like I said, I met you and got into that Telegram group, because I've just in the last couple days I have met quite a few people and learned a lot of things that you go around in circles with this. And yeah, like someone was like, oh, have you heard of Carl Miller and watched this 5 hour video? And I'm like, oh heck yeah, that was one of the first things I ever did when I got into this.
Not true.
The Carl Miller, that was one of the first things I ever watched with you. That was before I even got into all of this, was you watching Carl Miller. And oh my gosh, he's a funny little old man, but he would bore me to
I'll
sleep
send it to you.
watching that YouTube. Say what?
Did Kyle send it to you?
No. We were going to sleep watching YouTube of Carl Miller like for weeks on end before he found Yusuf, and then he found TikTok and got everything under the sun.
Mm-hmm.
I started driving her crazy with it, so she had no other choice but to start looking into it with me.
Right, but then she got kicked in the chest with what she's going through.
Right.
Exactly.
Yep.
Then she's like, okay, maybe I need to start listening to him.
Maybe I'm not crazy.
Well, he was
Maybe you're not crazy.
I never said he was crazy. Okay, I did say he sounded a bit like a conspiracy theorist, and I
Yeah,
pissed
you
him
did.
off. He got so mad at me.
Everything's tied together, baby. Everything.
But he was not where we're at right now when he started it. And like at first, some of the things he would say to me, I just was like, okay, I'm not sure. But I'm not like somebody who's not open to different or new ideas or anything. So it took me a little while, and eventually I was like, all right. He came across something, and I think it was actually Carl Miller, and I actually was listening one night, and I was like, all right, maybe there is something here. And then he really got deep into it with Yusuf, showed me a Yusuf video, and I was just, after that, I was just on it. Like, okay, there's a lot going on here we need to find out. And I was on it to help figure out how to help him out of his. And I think he didn't necessarily get up in court and stand up against his case, like I'm gonna probably have to do, but he talked to his lawyer and pointed out all these things. And I think his lawyer behind the scenes got him down to like the easiest, nicest deal possible, that he ended up taking it. But I understand why he took it, because we had a discussion about like we can't both possibly end up in jail. So he took the hit, got a $1,500 fine, and nothing else.
No jail time, no probation, no nothing.
What
Yeah.
was it? What was the charge? If you're willing to share it, if not, that's okay.
OWI third.
Yeah, same as mine. And his
Nice.
last offense was like over 15 years ago.
Yeah.
He got a couple of them when he was like, really young.
But this prosecutor was refusing to come down off of OWI third. And then after that hearing date, the next day I went off of my attorney on I even called him out, on the whole corpus juris secundum, volume 7, attorney-client relations. His duties in courts, the taxes. I went on a rant, bro. I gave it in. Like, I let him have it. And then
Hey,
2 days
what
later.
state are y'all in?
What's that?
What state are y'all in?
Michigan, Metro Detroit.
Michigan. Okay, damn, they ain't a car trip.
They're hard. They're very hard here.
Well, Oakland County is like the worst county in Michigan to get a DUI.
Yeah.
They are the harshest.
They don't let up on anything. But it was like after he went on that rant with his attorney, and then on top of it, his attorney tells me, to my face, like privately, he goes, yeah, that judge is a terrible broker. Talking about my judge. I mean, he's
Terrible what?
broker. That was his word.
A terrible what?
A terrible broker, a bad banker. That's what he
Oh
called.
man.
He said it straight up to me. He goes, he is a terrible broker. My lawyer, which Kyle was using, I'm using the public defender, but he said that straight up to my face. And I've used him for probably about 5 years now, 4 years. I've had him, and he's good at what he does. Don't get me wrong. Like I told Kyle.
He even admitted that he works for
Yeah,
the.
he's a good actor. He's a
Yeah.
great actor.
Oh
Yep.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, 2 days later, man. After that, he called me back, so the prosecutor's willing to come down and give you,
A non-driving offense.
yeah. 2 days later, after that conversation,
Yep.
tell me the prosecutor and the attorneys don't talk,
Yeah.
please.
He didn't run to him and go, "Hey, we got to shut this guy up. Let's give him a good enough deal that he'll take it and shut up and not, call us out in the middle of public." That's how he ended up getting his down. He got his down to allowing a intoxicated person to drive his vehicle. So he let the straw man drive his vehicle, and he,
Yeah.
took a plea for that.
Yeah.
And then still had to pay all the court fines and stuff like that. And he did the evaluation with the probation officer, and they were like, they voted no probation because he's clearly not an alcoholic, So.
You need to go through that in order to know fully what's going on. You experienced that, right?
Yeah.
The only way to understand
Now
this
that
stuff
you
is
know
actually
better,
go through
next
it.
time you'll do better. Next
Yeah.
time you won't need the lawyer. You raise all the same arguments as long as you didn't hurt nobody. Hold on one second.
Yep.
I'm gonna step up.
I'll say my lawyer's tough, though.
It's tough.
Or not my lawyer, my judge. He's a hard cookie to crack because I think my lawyer has told him that I know some, and that's how they got the judge somehow went down from 9 months to 5 months.
Yeah.
Right, but the thing is, if you got that lawyer, they're going to make it sound like they're fighting for you. But what are they doing? What are they doing at the end of the day?
Just
All
trying
they
to
do.
get me to take a plea.
And what's a plea?
A plea, it just works out for them to get them money.
No, a plea is consenting and agreeing
Yeah.
to a charge.
Yeah, giving them consent, which
So like y'all are talking about the law, right? But what is a plea when you're talking about business?
Acceptance.
It's a haggle. You guys are haggling. So what do they call it?
bartering.
They call it a bargain, a plea bargain.
A plea bargain,
Well,
yeah,
what is a
bartering.
bargain? You're bargaining. And what's bargaining? At the end of the day, all they're doing is haggling. They're doing nothing but business.
Hmm. I never
So
thought they do call it a plea bargain. I never thought about it that way.
I've broken this down to you before.
everything you think about when you go into that courtroom, think about it as business, because that's what's going on. Let's get back to the estates. Do you have your business set up? Or if you don't, you're in there talking about the law, and they're not worried about the law because the contracts make the law.
Okay, I'm kind of excited here. Supremacy Clause just joined their group. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I watch your content all the time. It's kind of cool to see you up in here.
It's good to see you too. I see your thing. We all see each other around.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a wonderful thing.
It
How's everybody
definitely
doing this weekend? It's beautiful out here.
is, isn't it?
We got
Yeah.
Get her
Hey
showered.
guys, Jersey's on. Jersey Joe's on. I want to give him an opportunity to speak, and then
Be
Supremacy,
quiet.
I want you to let loose, lady.
Listen, you wouldn't believe what I studied earlier. This is
I know.
so good.
I want you to let loose, but let's give Joe an opportunity.
No, I sure will. I got to prepare anyways.
Okay.
I'll be
Okay.
quiet as a church mouse.
I didn't know Joe wanted to talk. Is Joe from the Zoom yesterday?
Yes. He
It's
might
Joey.
not want to talk. He might just want to absorb, but I want to give him an opportunity to speak.
I
Everyone
love
has.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, Jersey Joe's got some good stuff to say. Okay, I don't know who Tony the Tiger is. Hi.
Wow.
Tony the Tiger
They're
is
great.
Tony the Tiger is an awesome guy. Trust me.
He's great. He's great.
He
Oh,
does things
okay,
the
I'm gonna
hard way,
find
people.
him.
He does things the hard way.
That's cool.
Supremacy. We're gonna give Jersey about 10 more seconds, and then
It's
you just
okay.
take it away. You take it away.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay, I didn't know Tony the Tiger here followed me. I just followed you back, guy.
Oh yeah, I just followed you. But I
Okay.
actually used to have a larger account, and I actually acquired my following by talking about a lot of the legal stuff. But then
Mhm.
I ended up getting into a bunch of debating on social issues, and I think I pissed a lot of lefties off, and that ended up canceling me. And so now I got just this tiny accounts now.
I
So
think we've all been through that.
yeah,
Who
yeah, right.
who regularly people who regularly post, right? Like we'll call us ourselves quote unquote creators, because at the end of the day, that's what we're doing. We're creating content for people to digest,
Mhm.
right? But the people who keep creating the content in which we are gravitated to, or we're interested in, or however you want to put it.
That's what our frequencies are.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
That's what I'm
What
trying to get back
we
to.
are in tune to. There you go.
Yeah,
I'm
my
trying to get
content's
back to that.
definitely different than everyone else's here, but I think that the Bible goes hand in hand with this stuff, and you can't.
Everyday life. It's uncanny.
Mm-hmm.
So this is town hall. I'm gonna give, since Jersey forfeited his opportunity. I think he just wants to sit back and ingest. You know what I mean? Supremacy. Take it away, love.
Okay,
Whatever
so
you got
earlier,
to do.
unless Tony the Tiger wanted to say something, I don't mind waiting patiently.
No, you're good. I just came up here because I like to be in the presence of like minds, you know. So
I
you know,
do too, and like hearts, because we are the
Love you, love you, love
the
you.
heart chakra of the galaxy. So
Yeah.
Love you. Thank you.
anyway, you know how we get loans for cars and houses, and so in actuality, the federal government is liable and responsible for them, and all this things that I have